Go.com. Yeah, he had some good moments, Corey, for the Lakers. Jordan Goodwin, 6'5", out of St. Louis, undrafted back in 2021. Signed a two-way deal back on February the 7th. As James comes back into the ball game for the Lakers, Simmons in for Ty Lue and the Clippers. LeBron comes back in with 20 on the heels of a 33-point performance less than 24 hours ago. Bogdan Bogdanović comes in as well for the Clippers. Luka knocks down the second one. A 76% free throw shooter.
But Jonesy, look at Goodwin. He's up. And again, he's only up there to make sure he continues to put pressure on James Harden as Ben Simmons comes in and can be more of a playmaker to help with the ball handling responsibility.
They got Luka on him at the dunker spot. Bogdanović around the screen for three. And it's rebounded by James. Surveys to connect. Doncic out front, working against former All-NBA defensive team player Simmons. Luka on the drive, got it! And he lets out one of those primal screams that J.J. Redick is encouraging him to get his mojo and swag back.
And these are the type of plays that Luka Doncic has used to haunt the Clippers throughout his career. Averages 32.7 points per game throughout his career against the Los Angeles Clippers, and now starting to find a rhythm here offensively in the third.
2:21 to go. Lakers lead is up to 4. Doncic with 20 of the ball game on 6 of 15. Shooting his 9th and 10th free throws tonight. The Clippers as a squad have shot just 7.
Similar to the performance last night, with the 3 guys in LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka made just as many threes.
We're going to have a whistle and a foul staying at this end. Off the Bogdanović miss. It'll be Clipper basketball.
Forgive me, that trio made as many free throws as the Wolves attempted last night, and a huge disparity in free throw shooting tonight as well.
Foul's going to go against Dalton Knecht, Corey. Simmons trigger sideline out of bounds.
The rookie just trying to make a crafty play. You got to understand that he's not getting away with that. He can't do the same things Bron and Luka get away with.
Harden back to Coffey. Lost the handle, back out to Harden, but a whistle underneath. And we're going to have another foul. And this is going to go against Doncic. That's going to be his 4th personal foul. And a rather pensive-looking J.J. Redick contemplating maybe a challenge.
Well, the Lakers don't have a challenge left because they lost a challenge earlier. But Luka coming in from that angle got a lot of basketball, but could have been some arm on that possession.
Coffey knocks down the first free throw.
And that's going to be 4 on Luka. Still 2:04 remaining in this third, something that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
He's the only Laker starter in foul trouble. They'll bring it up against Simmons. Bogdanović picks him up on the switch. Goodwin from the corner. Good block out by Batum, and that's going to be a foul against the Lakers.
We saw
Jemison.
We saw Jemison in the first half a couple times actually be able to root Batum under the basket, get that offensive rebound. Batum doing a much better job defensively there, boxing out, forcing Jemison to grab him with 2 hands and move him out of the way. But watch Nicholas Batum doing the job to try to keep Jemison off the glass with that possession after he got beat twice in the first half.
Batum at the free throw line, the member of the French national team. Boy, folks, if you haven't seen Court of Gold, which documents the journeys of the French, USA basketball, Canadian team, and Serbian team at the Olympics. That's a great must-watch. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. Tomorrow on ABC, Warriors Sixers 8:30 Eastern time. Sunday on ABC, Nuggets Celtics at 1 Eastern over on NBA TV. Portland Cleveland at 3:30. Tuesday doubleheader, TNT Warriors Knicks, Clippers Suns. For one of these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
Jonesy, you mentioned the French national team, and when we had our game in Paris, had opportunity to eat dinner with Boris Diaw, who of course is the general manager of the French national team, and he talked about how close they are, and of course absolutely the presence that it had as Jamison's unable to get the bucket to go, but how that just energized the entire country. And when I tell you they love basketball in France and Paris, that atmosphere was unbelievable to see when Victor Wembanyama was able to make the trip back home to play 2 NBA games.
Well, the great part about the documentary was the access, and inside the French locker room at one point, Nick Batum, usually very stoic, non-demonstrative, absolutely went off in French on his teammates at halftime of one of the early round games. I spoke to him before the game. I said, Nick, I've never seen that side of you. He goes, yeah, I wasn't sure, but had to get something off my chest when it counted, and he did.
Yeah, then he said he saw the trailer and realized he had to ask the question, wait, they had cameras in the locker room?
He's a big piece for Ty Lue, a real connector. And right now we have a 2-point game. Connect picks up Harden on the switch. 10 on the shot clock.
Look at the boxes and elbows. You think about the way that Lakers are guarding defensively. Allows Connect to put pressure on Harden, but helping everywhere else, forcing the Clippers to have to beat them from beyond the arc.
Goodwin back to James. Coffey picks him up. Bogdanovich now has James on the switch. Gonna try and walk him down to his spot. LeBron got the nice touch. And he's up to 22 on the night. The NBA's all-time leading scorer. And Harden hit the hydraulics. Tween, pulls it back again. And Vanderbilt got on the deck first. Came up with the loose ball, and that's going to be a foul against Harden. Vanderbilt with impenetrable, impregnable defense in that sequence.
And the Laker faithful so happy to have Vando back on the floor. Does the job defensively. You talked about James Harden trying to get into his bag. However, Jared Vanderbilt having nothing to do with that. Forcing the ball off Harden's foot, then diving on the floor. But more importantly, turning his back to Harden so he can't tie the basketball up. Force the jump ball and ends up getting the foul.
And at the other line, it'll be Vanderbilt with a couple of free throws. I think Harden might have been asking for a kick ball scenario, but well, you can't fault the effort and the hustle by Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt gives the Lakers an edge. You saw last night, Anthony Edwards' first technical foul was with Vanderbilt. They started jawing a little bit, but then you see after that possession right there, Vando and Ty Lue. Of course, Ty Lue is competitive as anybody you're going to see. I played against him for a long time, I know. And those two having a little exchange.
I always like when guys start bumping their gums a little bit. Makes things a little bit more spicy. 31.9 to go. 2-for-1 scenario perhaps for the Clippers. Bogdanovich in a rush with pace. Got blocked but fouled by Goodwin from behind. So Bogdanovich will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. That's going to be the second foul on Goodwin, helped up by his teammates. You know, we were talking about Harden's leadership and insights. He and Bogdanovich share a trainer in South Florida, Stan Remy. Trains a lot of NBA players. Immediately upon Bogdanovich being acquired by the Clippers, Harden called said trainer and said, hey, tell me about Bogdanovich. Where does he like the ball? How does he like to catch it? Where are the best areas of the court where he's most proficient and productive? And Harden was taking
the game, but as you mentioned, that's the leadership of James Harden. Steph Curry did the exact same thing when they made the trade for Jimmy Butler. He just called his Olympic teammate